Remote raiding. Wow, what a feature. I am really impressed by this one. Yeah, so remote raiding is finally out in Pokemon Go. A lot of people are enjoying it. Some people are disappointed by it, but I want to talk about that disappointment in this video. I want to talk about how Niantic can improve remote raiding, because as much as it's a pretty awesome thing, there's a lot of things that are wrong with it, and I do think that Niantic needs to address this while they still can, because of course remote raiding is the hot thing right now. Alright, let's get right into it. How's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today I'm going to be talking about remote raiding, what Niantic could do to improve this system. I think it's phenomenal. I think there's just a lot of potential with it, and it can be a staple moving forward when it comes to raiding. But I do think Niantic does need to iron out some of the kinks, because remote raiding is problematic as much as it's awesome, and I do think that there's a lot of things that I found wrong with it that I really think could just kill this early on. So I'm going to be talking about all of that in this video, but real quick, if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel possible. If you want to support this channel in any way, definitely go and check out the links in the description below. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's talk about remote raiding. I think there's a lot of different problems with this system that definitely is something that a lot of players are talking about. And I really think Niantic is fully aware of these issues, and they're currently working on it, but I still think we need to address them. Now, before I get into these issues, I really have to emphasize the fact that Niantic did something really great here. So even though I'm going to be very critical, even though I'm going to talk about a lot of the flaws, I do have to point out that I absolutely love remote raiding, and I think Niantic hit a home run with this system. They did some really great design work with this system. They actually made it work, and they actually made it fair, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds now that we have remote raiding. So please do keep that in mind as you watch this video. I really love this system, and I give all of the credit in the world to Niantic for coming up with this on such short notice. But yeah, but with that said, of course this system was a bit rushed out because of the needs of players right now. So we do have to talk about ways that they can improve it and tighten it up. So yeah, here we go. Now, if I were to describe my remote raiding experience, I would say it's extremely positive. I've been able to do a lot more raids than I normally would do, and a lot of raids that I have done are extremely convenient, especially considering that I could do them from home if I wanted to. But there is a big issue with remote raiding that's absolutely apparent almost immediately, and that is the fact that you need some sort of communication in order to get these remote raids going. I mean, if it wasn't for Discord, if it wasn't for the line of communication that I have with players around me, I wouldn't be able to do any legendary raids through the remote raiding system. In order to do remote raids, you do need people you need to talk to, and that's going to be difficult for people who are not part of communities or people who choose not to be a part of communities, and normally they were able to just go out and raid. But as of right now, we are not able to go out and raid because of different lockdowns and because of the worldwide pandemic. If you want to be safe, it's best advised not to go out and raid. But if you want to do remote raiding, you do need to coordinate with other players, and this is something that Niantic needs to take care of client side. We shouldn't rely on third-party apps like Discord in order to get these raids done. What we really need is some sort of in-game communication that allows us to coordinate with other players around us. As of right now, remote raiding is the big thing. A lot of players are not even leaving their houses in order to raid some of the new bosses like Darkrai. Okay, I understand Darkrai is not a new boss, but this is a highly coveted Pokemon because of it being the top dark type, as well as its shiny form being out right now. And if you do not have that line of communication through Discord or Facebook groups or what have you, you're not going to be able to do Darkrai raids. So yes, remote raiding is an awesome feature, and it's something that we desperately needed. But because we do not not have an in-game communication system, the feature is essentially pointless. I mean, sure, you could do 1-star raids, 2-star raids, and 3-star raids even from the comfort of your home, but if you want to participate in the good stuff, I'm talking about tier 4 raids and legendary raids, well, you will need to be able to communicate with other players in some way. Now, I'm not even talking about having an in-game chat system. Like, I know that Ingress has something like that, so they could definitely bring something like that into Pokemon Go, but what I'm talking about is having something as simple as having an indicator of the number of trainers who are interested in a raid. So let's say that there is a raid on the nearby. Let's say it's a legendary raid, and you could go into that raid view and see how many people are interested in that raid. And that's a great way to communicate to players around you that you are able to help them out. Let's say there's a legendary raid nearby that requires 5 players in order to defeat. And you can have 5 players indicate that they are interested in that raid, and all of a sudden you got yourself a raid. But as of right now, we have no way of communicating with other trainers within the game that we are interested in a particular raid. Even if we are a part of Discords, like, it's still extremely difficult. Like today, I did a couple of Darkrai raids, and I had to coordinate with other players through Discord, and it was a little bit difficult. It was a little bit challenging. I mean, we had to essentially pick out which raids were nearby, which raids were close to the most trainers, who would actually have to drive out, and different things like that. All of this would be a lot easier if we had something in-game. Now, aside from the communication aspect of it, there's definitely another way you could improve remote raiding. Increase the radius of nearby gyms, because there are certain places where I see absolutely no gyms. And from my own home, I can only see 3 gyms. So if any of those gyms do not have a raid, well, I'm essentially just sitting there waiting for one to spawn. But if they were to increase the radius to at least 3 or 4 more gyms, well, I have plenty of more options. As of right now, it's very difficult for me to go out and drive out to these raids. So of course I have to consider that the only gyms that are around me are the only gyms I'm going to be able to raid at. And the third improvement that I really want to talk about is boss difficulty. If you are raiding from home, if you are only doing remote raids, then chances are you are not going to have as much people as you typically would on a regular raid. I mean, before this whole coronavirus pandemic hit, we would have upwards of 20, even 40 people show up to raids, but right now it's difficult to even get 5 trainers. So needless to say, a lot of these bosses have been really difficult to defeat. And aside from the difficulties of coordinating and communicating and the number of gyms that are around you, it's even more difficult to get a good number of trainers at the raid. So I honestly think all of the bosses that you fight from remote raiding should be easier for the trainers. Let's say if a lobby only has remote raiders, then the boss should be tuned down, and maybe you can have the rewards tuned down as well. Like when it comes to the raid rewards, maybe you could tune those down in conjunction with the raid difficulty, or you could have the boss have a much bigger IV pool, so you will not necessarily get the best IVs, but at least the raid will be doable because you have less trainers. Because that is the big observation that I've had when it comes to remote raiding. There's going to be less trainers doing that raid than you typically would see. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I love remote raiding. I'm just listing off the ways that they can improve it because I want them to improve it, because I really think this is something that should have been in the game a long time ago. Even before this pandemic, I thought remote raiding was a phenomenal idea, but I really wanted them to execute it properly, and it seems like they did, but there's still some things that they could do to improve it. That's really all that I'm saying. So yeah, let me know your thoughts regarding remote raiding down below. How would you improve this system? I would love to know your thoughts. And yeah, let's have a great discussion. Let's be constructive. And of course, I really hope you're being safe out there. If you do not have to raid, then by all means, just raid from home. You can get a whole bunch of remote raid passes for really cheap right now. So I highly suggest you utilize this feature while you still can. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all later. How's it hanging, everyone? Before I end this video, I want to give a quick plug to my Patreon page. If you want to support this channel, I highly suggest you go and check out the link in the description below. Every little bit helps when it comes to these YouTube videos. So if you want to support this channel, if you love the content that I'm producing and you want to contribute, definitely go and check it out. I have a lot of nice perks, like if you want to be on my permanent friends list, or if you want to get exclusive content or participate in exclusive content that's coming soon, definitely go and check it out. And to all of my patrons, I thank you for supporting my channel. I really hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and if you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell so you stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Follow me on social media at Count Jinsula. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, have a great day. I'll catch you all later.